Sal Licata of SNY with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team, and you can see him every day on the Daily News, Loudmouths at 5:30, and Sal Licata. Sal, I'm having you on the show because I don't know if I've ever seen anyone lose their mind over that Chase Utley situation on Saturday night. On your Twitter, you went insane, dude. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm better now. I mean, it's almost been a week after the fact. I lost control, man, that night. Now, I since deleted some of those tweets. Normally I don't use bad language. I try to treat Twitter as I would treat, being on air, but I could not hold back that night. I mean, that ugly play had me in. The fact that it wasn't even the slide, it was the fact that they overturned the call. I mean, you talk about your shortstop breaks his leg, Utley with a dirty play, and he's called safe to boot. I lost control. It's a good thing I didn't have a radio show at that moment because I don't know what would have happened. But yeah, I was going pretty crazy on Twitter.
What are your thoughts on the fact that Mattingly didn't put Utley out there for both games in New York City?
Now, look, I was at both games. I thought it was great for the crowd to boo Utley when he was introduced. It would have been great to see him getting at bat. It would have been great to see the Mets get a little blood, especially in that first game where they had such a huge lead. Here's the problem I have with it. I don't mind Mattingly not putting him in, but then why would he appeal the suspension? And now is he going to be playing tonight? Is the question. If he plays him in Game 5 when he specifically just tried to avoid getting him in New York, then that bothers me a little bit.
Sal Licata of SNY. You can see him on Loudmouths weekly, every weeknight, 5:30 on SNY. On Twitter as well, very entertaining, at Sal_Licata.
You're his new favorite. You really are.
It's great, man. I love it. I got the damn tweets into my phone. I mean, it is a beautiful thing. Hey, Sal, how would you grade Terry Collins managing in this series?
Whew, that's a good question. Now, I like Terry overall, but I had a problem with the way he handled the bullpen in Game 2 after the Utley play. Specifically, first of all, I would have let Syndergaard in. I know people were saying, wow, he looked like he was shot. I wanted to get beat with my best, and Syndergaard's their best. Went with Bartolo. Bartolo got the ground ball that led to the Utley play. But anyway, after that, he brought in Addison Reed. If you followed it closely, Addison Reed has been good for the Mets, but he's been good starting innings clean, not coming in with guys on. He came in and then gasoline to the fire, the base hit for Gonzalez. So that was a problem with Collins. The other big issue that I have is the fact that he did not play Conforto against the lefty starters, and that drives me nuts because Michael Conforto is arguably their best hitter. Including Cespedes Murphy, and they don't play him against lefties because he's a rookie and because he hasn't had plenty of bats against lefties, which is their own fault because during the regular season they didn't start him against lefties. But you watch, Conforto will be a difference maker tonight. He already had the home run against Greinke in Game 2. I think he'll be an impact player tonight. Those two issues I have with Terry, the way he managed the bullpen in Game 2 and sitting Conforto against lefties. Other than that, I think he's been okay.
Sal, I'm hearing pitching experts and everybody say when you've got two great starters like Greinke and DeGrom, a lot of these matchups come down to a manager either not making a move they should have made or making a mistake. If I tell you that this is going to come down to the managers, who do you like, Mattingly or Collins?
I like Collins. I mean, even as much as I have issues with some of the moves Collins makes, Mattingly is awesome. Mattingly tried to give the Mets the game on Game 4. What the heck are you doing taking Clayton Kershaw out of that game after the 7th inning? I mean, he's only at 94 pitches or whatever it was, and he was basically he was unhittable. Yet Mattingly takes him out for some reason, going to the bullpen. I thought the Mets were going to get new life and be able to hit. They couldn't, unfortunately, and lucky for Donnie. But Mattingly does things to me that make you scratch your head because he's inconsistent. At one time he'll leave Kershaw in, Kershaw gets beat. So the next time what does he do? He takes him out, and then they get beat again. Now, it didn't happen in Game 4, but it's happened over the years, and I think it'll happen again. Mattingly is inconsistent. I think he lets the outside stuff get to him. I don't like his in-game managerial skills at all.
Sal Licata of SNY with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. Mets, Dodgers tonight, 8:07 first pitch right here on 104.5 The Team. Sal, what's the biggest key for the Mets tonight?
I guess it has to just go on the mound with the starting pitcher. I mean, look, the Mets bullpen is weak. I know they'll have Syndergaard available out of the pen tonight, and they said all hands on deck. That includes Harvey, but I doubt you'll see that. I think DeGrom has to go out there and dominate early on, just like he did in Game 1, to take the crowd out of it, put up some zeros, let his team get settled in, and hopefully the bats can come up with a couple of runs against Greinke. I do think Greinke will be more hittable than people think. Now, maybe that's just me overlooking Greinke's dominance at times, but I like the Mets lineup against right-handed pitching. I think they'll score some runs tonight. They'll be pretty loose, but I think it all starts with DeGrom. DeGrom goes out there, and within the first 3 innings, gives up a couple of runs. Then you have the crowd starting to snowball a little bit, and then all of a sudden the Mets get pressed. So I think the biggest thing is just the Mets being able to fire their best bullet with their ace, Jacob DeGrom. He's got to go out there and dominate just like he did in Game 1.
Sal, as a diehard Mets fan, before the trade deadline, we're looking at this team and thinking they can't score runs. They'll be lucky to make the postseason. Now, it looks they're 1 game away from the NLCS. If they don't make the NLCS, is this a failed season?
Boy, you summed it up pretty nicely there. It's hard to believe where this team is after the way that the year has gone. April they were a house on fire. Then May they struggled, and they had obvious holes. The fact that the Nationals stunk let the Mets stay in it long enough to be able to make some trades and bring in some bats and become a legit team. You get this close, you want to take advantage of it. And Terry Collins, I know speaking last night, said that this game is gravy. I wish he didn't say that, but ultimately, when you look at the big picture, for the Mets this year to win the division, to be able to push the NLCS to a Game 5, win or lose, I do think it's been a very good year. Now, it could go from very good to incredibly great with a win in just a game tonight. I mean, you get to the NLCS, you're down to the Final Four. That is just remarkable. And you take your shots against the Red Hot Cubbies. But, look, nice to win when you get there. You never know when you'll be back. But ultimately, even if they lose tonight, I think that they've done a really solid job this year, maxing out pretty much their potential. I don't think that this is anything could happen. I don't think this is a World Series team, though.
Sal Licata of SNY. What's keeping them away from being a World Series team this year?
First of all, there's a couple issues. I think that they're their own worst enemy. They don't let the pitchers go full bore, okay? So now you're eliminating Harvey as far as, maxing him out. He should have really pitched 2 games in the series, only pitched 1. He was coming off a 10 days rest, so he wasn't in his rhythm. I think that hurts them. I think their bullpen had issues, whether it's Henry Mejia being an idiot, twice this year, or whether it's guys getting injured. Those things have happened. They really haven't had a lefty to do to be able to come in big spots. That's been an issue. And again, that's injury-riddled stuff and also just guys underperforming. Conforto not being an everyday player, not getting him in the mix due to too inconsistent. There's just certain things. David Wright struggling now all of a sudden. Just certain things that, I don't know, that aren't necessarily clicking. Now, the starting pitching all of a sudden it gets turned on and DeGrom continues to dominate and Harvey does pitch 2 games next round and Syndergaard and Max do what they could do, and then you could talk World Series. But I just still don't believe deep down that this is a team that's, built to win the World Series. Defensively, they have some issues as well, obviously now with Flores at short. So I like the team, and obviously they're close. I just still in my heart don't believe that they're a World Series team.
SNY, Sal Licata. Watch him this evening starting at 5 o'clock on SNY. Sal, you're born and raised Mets guy. Good luck to you tonight. No matter what happens tonight, man, can we have you on again? This was fun as hell.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you guys. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. We'll definitely do it. Win or lose, I'll come on again.
All right, deal. Good. I like that because you got to tell us about how you feel about Jets and Giants too, because I know you're passionate. Are you buying the Giants? Are you buying what they're doing? Do you think they will win their division?
Well, I think if they win the division, it's only because the division is awful. I don't believe in the Giants. There's only one area, well, maybe 2 areas where I believe in the Giants: head coach and the quarterback. That's it. Outside of that, I don't think the Giants are any good. They've beaten bad teams. They've been lucky to beat bad teams. They've beaten themselves in a couple of games. I think they're going to get beat by the Eagles Monday night, and then all of a sudden that'll start to put maybe the Giants aren't actually that good when the Eagles start getting back in the mix. I don't even believe in the Eagles, to be honest with you, but I do think ultimately they'll be better than the Giants. I think the Cowboys are the best team in the division. They're just ravaged with injuries. So I still don't, I'm not buying into the Giants at all.
At Sal_Licata. Sal, have fun tonight. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.